us. Take me there, take me there. If you're looking for an offering, it's right here. My life is here, and I'll be a living sacrifice for you. You're a fire, you're a fire. I wanna be consumed. I wanna be table that you prepared for me in the presence of my enemies. It's your body, your blood you shed for me. And this is how I fight my battles.
Yes. Wow.
And I believe you've overcome, and I will lift my song of praise for what you've done. This is how I fight my battles.
I've been studying, and I told Brother Philip a little bit the other night on the phone with those truck drivers. The Lord's been dealing with me about hold your ground. Hold your ground. And the definition of hold your ground means don't give in.
Come on.
And I'm going to tell you something. They're talking about fighting these battles, these youth. If you look at them, yeah, they look like young people, but I'm going to tell you something. They've been fighting hell. And the devil's at them, and the devil's trying to attack them and take them. And if you don't see it, I don't know. You need to open your eyes just a little bit, but I'm telling you tonight, I'm going to teach them back there when I finish studying this out, hold your ground. Because that devil's coming against them. They better hold their ground. Now's the time to hold your ground. Don't give an inch into him, and don't give an inch into temptation. Because he'll take a mile, and he'll take you further than you ever want to go. They talking in this song about fight. This is how I fight. I get a hold of God. That's how I fight. I don't fight with my fist. I don't fight with guns or nothing else. But the only way I know to do it, Sister D, is like you was doing for Wednesday night. Is on your knees. You can fight that battle right here.
That's right.
You fight that battle when you crawl up here on them knees.
That's right.
And give it to the Lord.
Yes.
That's what they're talking about. This is how I fight my battles. And we cannot give in. Don't you give an inch to that devil.
That's right.
Hold your ground.
Yes, amen.
I'm telling you, you better hold your ground, church. We got to hold our ground. You see these folks that's out? Not all of them's out because of sickness. But the church that God has called out of everybody else, that is here, that is established and rooted and grounded, better hold their ground because the devil's taking them one after another.
Yes, amen.
I'm telling you, hold your ground tonight, church. Spread the word. Hold your ground. They better hold their ground. Satan's at it. They're going to sing this verse one more time. This is how I fight my battles.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, we've got to learn how to fight. We've got to get serious with this thing because Satan is serious. He's out for keeps. And who's to say the ones that's not here, and they're not here gone because of sickness, until they ever come through the doors again, because Satan is real. And he is mean business.
Yes.
The church has got a mean business. We've got to hold our ground tonight. Sing it.
This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. And this is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. This is how I fight my battles. I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how.
Hallelujah. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Yes.
I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. For I took a breath, and you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, endless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds till I found these and 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, endless love of God. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. And you have been so, so good to me. When I felt the worst, you waited all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, endless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds till I found these and 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, endless love of God. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, endless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds till I found these and 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still, you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, endless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, no you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me.
said if 3 be together, He would show up. So I'm not worried about it. We'll have church. Anyways, hope the ones that's not here gets better. It's over the sickness and gets it gone. Thank the Lord for His protection over us that don't have it. Amen. Fixing to get Brother Ethan. If anybody didn't know who was sharing the word this evening, I tried to keep it a secret, but you can't hardly keep a secret around church folks. They tell everything. I'm telling you, they'll tell everything on you. But anyways, I appreciate y'all tonight. I'm going to let Ethan have his way. Let the Lord use him tonight.
This has just been on my heart a little bit. He asked me if I wanted to do this. And I immediately told him, yeah, I didn't know what I was going to preach on, or what I was going to speak about. I really got in praying about it. It was like instantly, it just kind of overwhelms you with that feeling. This is what you need to speak about. I'm going to be talking out of Psalms 73 and 26. It's just one verse. It says, "My flesh and my heart faileth, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." In this, and especially in today's world, you're going to come across trials and tribulations and obstacles that we a lot of times don't want to face. We don't want to go through. It's hard being under pressure sometimes. It's hard. And we learn in those times that everything's not going to end up perfect. It's not going to end up perfect. There's no justification and there's no answer for why you go through these things. The only thing you can come to the conclusion with is that the reason why a lot of the times you have to be broken down to a point where you have to be built back up. You have to be built back up. It's just like, I look at it as the Statue of Liberty. It's a big statue. It's been sculpted into something. It's a beautiful piece. It's made out of copper, right? Copper, okay? Copper can be bended, can be melted and molded into something. Okay? But right now, if you were to go up to it and you were to touch it and you were to try to bend it, it's not going to move. It's not going to move. But if you were to take a little bit of heat or a little bit of pressure, to go up to it and you put a heat gun to it or something like that, you can bend it, you can mold it into something. A lot of the times we go through trials, we have to be broken and we have to be shattered to a point where God can mold us back into something to be holy. To be holy. That's why a lot of times it gets so frustrating being in those trying times, because we feel like God's doing it out of anger, or God doesn't love us, or God's just picking on me. He's not. He's doing it out of love. He's doing it out of love. Sometimes we let those trials overcome us, and we get into a dark hole of guilt, of shame, of sin. We dig ourselves our own hole, and I'm not going to be long with this. We dig ourselves a hole, and we don't want to go anywhere. And a lot of times we look up and we think God is just sitting at the top, looking down on us, saying, well, any day now, He's going to figure out that He needs me. No. He's in the hole with you. He's in the hole with you. He's begging you, please, just take my hand. Get a taste of me for a little bit. Let me help you. But a lot of times we're so stubborn. If you say you're a dependent person, you might be, but I'm going to call you a liar, bro. Because in all of us, I think a lot of us were born with independent nature, that we want to handle things ourselves, and we want to step in front of people and deal with things on our own when we can't. A lot of times it's natural for this flesh to step in front of God and try to do everything on our own, when that's not how it's supposed to work. We get ourselves in this hole that we've dug ourselves, and we tell God, and God's sitting there saying, just come with me a little bit. Just come with me. Let me mold you back into something that you were meant to be. But we sit there and we go, no, I got too much sin, I got too much guilt, I got too much shame, I got too much on my plate that I don't want you to see. And so we sit there and we deny God. We don't want him. And we push him away, and we push him away, and we push him away. And we push him away. And it's hard to accept the fact that you don't have to prove yourself to God. We come to God, and you're sitting here thinking right now, you know, my life is shattered. I don't know where to go. You put on this brave smile, this brave face, and you put on a show, when on the inside you're really hurt. There's something inside of you that longs for more, but you don't know how to get it. And God has to keep breaking you down because you keep stepping out in front of him so he can't do his work for you. And the reason why he shatters you and it feels like your world is crumbling around you is because you keep straying away. And when we finally come to a point in the grips with ourselves where we grab the pieces back up, we scoop the pieces back up from our lives and we go, okay, God, here's my life. Do something with it. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to hear God. Put me back together. But what flesh wants to do is say, okay, here's my life. It's in shambles. Now watch me put it back together myself. And I look at it as the puzzle. That's what came to my mind, the puzzle. You can take puzzle pieces and you can take a wrong piece and another wrong piece and put it together. And you can probably get it to stay for a little bit. But if you show the two puzzle pieces together, I wish I had a puzzle. I wish I had brought a puzzle to show you. If you put it together, it's probably not going to show anything. It's not going to show anything. And so when you start trying to piece everything back together yourself, the image is going to be blurred. The image is not. It's going to be what you want to see, but it's not what God intends. So we sit there and we say, okay, watch me put my family back together. Watch me put my relationship back together. Watch me do this on my own. Watch me fix my mental health problems. Watch me cure my emotions. Am I telling the truth? When God's sitting there going, no, that's not right. That's not how that's intended to look. That's not how that's supposed to look. When if we could step back for just a moment and let God intervene for just a second, He can start putting the pieces back together. He'll start, and then when he's finally finished, you'll realize that the image, the puzzle, is so much more clear. It's so much more clear. You can see the calling that He has on your life. But a lot of times we don't like to accept the fact that God can work miracles in our lives because we don't feel our own worth. And we can't accept that because God doesn't have an influence on today's pop culture. So we have to feel like we are accepted by everyone else in this world. We have to feel like we're accepted by society, these pop culture in general. And God isn't here to talk to us in a way, so we feel like we have to find acceptance in everyone else. So even where you are, when you're in this hole, you are worth it. There's work that says it right there. My flesh and my heart's going to fail. This world's going to make you cold. It's going to make you, it is going to shape you into something and turn you into something that you're not supposed to be. But it says that, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion for forever. So if we'll just turn to Him for just a moment, He's going to put the heat, He's going to put the pressure on you. You're going to have to go through the trials. You're going to have to go through the obstacles. But eventually He's going to mold you into something where you can finally see that clear image of what He wants. What He wants. When He molds you into something, you can turn into something beautiful. Like, take the Statue of Liberty, for instance. It's a big, magnificent, it's a beautiful piece. When it's put together right. When it's put together right.
God of Him fixing something or wanting to do something in your life. And it may be something just that He's wanting to deal with. I want you to come up here. Let's just pray as a church. Pray for each other that we'll step out of the way and let God do it. We dig ourselves off in holes that sometimes I even dig off in a hole. And sometimes I don't know how to get out of it, Brother Ross. I'm just, be honest with you. Like Brother Ethan said, I get off in a hole. I get in a predicament that I don't know what to do with. If I just get myself out of the way just a moment and let God work. Sometimes that's all we got to do, just get out of the way. If I could just hush His mouth just a little bit and listen. I could hear Him saying, son, just move aside just a second. Let me get in this ditch with you and show you how to get it back together. Pull it back together. So on to church, just come pray tonight. Let's seek God tonight. Lord, we thank you.